I bet you didn't even have time to go get a drink. I'm back. We're going to color some more. Okay, so if you're just seeing me pop up for the first time today and you're wondering, what is she talking about? Today is a day of techniques. I am sharing techniques all afternoon, all the way up till our last live at 8 o'clock tonight. Not live the whole time. I've got a few pre-recorded things from some friends. I've got some posts for you to look at, but I will be in and out throughout the afternoon. The next thing we're talking about today is Stampin Blends. I want you to be sure that you don't miss anything. So if you've been here before, you're thinking, all right, I've already heard the drill. You want to go to karamiller.com, and there's two things that you want to do. At the top right-hand corner, there is a mailing list that you're going to want to join. I don't send you a bunch of stuff all the time, I promise. I only send you crafty things that you will like, I hope. Upcoming classes, things you need to know about, sales that are happening at Stampin' Up, things like that. All Stampin' Up. And then down at the bottom of the page, you'll see where it has Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. I love when you follow me in all those places. But if you go to my YouTube channel and click on subscribe, then you will get notified when I post new YouTubes. You can ignore me, you don't have to come watch, but that way you won't miss a new technique or a card or something fun that I did for you. Okay, so we just did watercolors. We're going to do Stampin Blends now, and I kind of do them in that order because I think watercolors are easier to get your feet wet coloring. Stampin Blends are really, really cool, and they're not hard. They're not. They're cool. They're good to work with. So we're going to do a little bit with that. Hope you're ready. Let's hop in. All right. This is the card that we're going to work on. And if you're looking at my blog, you might have noticed Mr. Turtle from Saturday. And that was to show you all about this fancy little fold. We're going to use the same card because it's just a great way to showcase him. But the fancy fold link is there too, so that you can see how to do it if you want to do it. Hey, welcome back, Bridget. Okay. So let's do the card part and then we'll get to coloring. So first thing you want to do is grab that sketch that I have for you. This didn't print out right, but still gives me what I need. And you're going to need an 8.5 by 11 cardstock cut in half to give you 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. Seems kind of like that's often the way cards start for me. And that means I have this. All right, ready to go. Then I need a piece of Designer Series paper, and I went with that same Playing with Patterns. And you're going to cut this at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and this one is right. And that's going to go right here. But first, we have to do that little tidbit at the bottom. And for that, you're going to need your trimmer. The Stampin' Trimmer is really fun, easy to work with. It has both a scoring blade and a cutting blade. Trust me, the cutting blade is really sharp. So when you think, oh, is it there? Yeah, don't touch it. Goodness. Yes, some people have done that. We won't mention who, Kara. All right. So I'm going to line this up at 2 3/4 right here. Okay. I'm going to bring that blade down without cutting myself below my paper. And I'm going to look on the edge right here. Let me zoom you in so that you can see it. Can you see these little lines that go along the trimmer right here? All right, I want to go up 1.5 inches, give or take. So I'm starting at 4 1/4. That means I want to go to 3 1/4. And that means I want to go to 2 3/4. I know, that's enough math to keep us busy for a week. Give or take 1.5 inches. Not the end of the world. And I'm going to scoochie up to there. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. And then you're going to get the little fancy foldy thing that we want. So I can put the trimmer away. Now you could do some scoring and you'd have to kind of line it up, and you want to get this point and you're going to fold along that line. Or you could fold this back and just kind of talk to it for a minute until you get it where you want it. You think it's about right, and then jump on it and commit. Whew. And if it's not right, you can fold it again. Okay? All right, this side too, bend it back, and you're trying to line up this point and this, and you want to go even along that edge. You just kind of work it till you get it where you think it's right, and then commit to it and hope you're close. Pretty close. All right. There's that. Then I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to put in, using my dimensionals, I'm going to pop a dimensional behind each one of my little shirt collar thingies. They do look like shirt collars to me. And just if you were wondering, gee, they look like that too. Couldn't you do it like this and then it would be a shirt? Right? You could. Okay, so there's that. And this is going to go right here, and this lines up right along the edge of your card. Okay? So I'm going to put this down now so that, so that it's here. I don't have to worry about losing it. So I'm going to take some of my Stampin' Seal. I missed this one. Alright, and then pop this in here. There we go. Alright, now, move you over there. Now I'm going to work with my circle. And I punch this circle from Thick Whisper White. And the reason I recommend that is Thick Whisper White works better with your blends, and I'm going to show you how. So I use the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. I'm also going to take a piece of, this is just printer paper. It's actually what my sketch was on. And I'm going to fold it in 4s, and I'm going to put that underneath where I'm going to stamp and color. If anything were to bleed through, not me, the ink, it will be absorbed into this paper and not get on my desk. It will also allow it to color better if it has a little something behind it. Okay, now here's the trick. Hey, Danette, Memento is what you're going to use for stamping blends, not the StazOn. StazOn is what you use for watercolors. Memento is for stamping blends, okay? Not regular Stampin' Up! Ink, Memento. And I put myself a little label in here so that I remember. And I'm going to get I am using the Back on Your Feet stamp set. This is the cutest little stamp set that you will use again and again. I can't imagine how many times I wish I had something simple like this for somebody that's just having a bad day. They could be hurt or sick, but just sometimes needs a little pick-me-up. This cute little turtle, and I said ouch, but he could say sigh too. And then on the inside, hope you're back on your feet soon. So we're going to do the turtle again. And he's right here. And we're going to use ouch. And we're using our tuxedo Memento. And let's get this block for Mr. Turtle. And this block for ouch. Now notice this does not have the little cling sticker on the back. I could easily stamp ouch the wrong way, upside down or backwards or not the way I want. So to save you a lot of heartache, take a second and put that on there. Now one of the tricks to this is once you put these on, notice they have this little slit, makes it super easy. Once you put it on, you have to be careful getting it off the block. And you only have one time, so do it right. Because you can't, once it's on, you can't peel it off. So that says ouch, okay? And then Mr. Turtle, same thing. I'd like to do these with you the first time. Next time I use the stamp set, Mr. Turtle's already done. Because sometimes you don't know what to do with those things that are in that package. Something is stuck on Mr. Turtle. is. All right, and you line him up so he fits right in that space. And peel, and there he is, okay? Super easy. Now, the trick to these is they are super sticky. They really are. So when you put it on the block, one, don't leave this on the block for overnight or the next day or 3 weeks from now. You'll have a hard time getting it off. What I like to do is kind of stick my fingernail under there, make sure that I get the sticker and peel it up. Another thing that you can do, this is the Take Your Pick tool. I use this all the time. It's got this little other tool on the end. So it's got the pick on one end, but it's also got this cute little spatula. So if you're struggling, the spatula can go right under there and kind of help you get started if you don't have fingernails. So take your pick, love it. All right, so Mr. Turtle, and then I'm gonna stamp him, and I'm gonna make sure that I have I'm nice and inked, right? Okay, and we're gonna stamp him right on here, make sure he fits right on. This is the 2 1/4 inch circle. He fits pretty good, right? I'm also gonna stamp ouch while I'm at it, and then I can put the ink away. Because I have this little sticker on here, now I know exactly where it's going to be, and I can line it up. And he's good to go too. I didn't show you earlier, but one of my other favorite items to have, if you don't already have this is called the Stampin Scrub. It helps you clean your stamps. It's the coolest thing since sliced bread. I know I say that a lot. It is really cool. It comes with this spray, the Stampin Mist. You have a wet side and a dry side. So you spritz, and then you take your stamp and you rub it on the wet side, and then you rub it on the dry side. Good as new, right? And my fingernail or my spatula, and there's my dude. He can go back. And when I put these away, I keep this liner and I set him down inside, but that way he doesn't stick to the bottom completely, and I don't have to worry, because he can stick to the case the way he would stick to the block too. So you might have to be careful when you peel him out of the box, in case he's really happy. See, there's ouch. And one more trick with this the Stampin Scrub. Let me move my guy. You can wash these. If they get, this one's pretty dirty. So again, the easy thing, take the pick. And notice here there's a little cut out of the corner. If you take your pick and put it under there so you can get your finger under it, these things come out. And then you just take them in the sink and rinse them. A little soapy water, a little Dawn dishwashing stuff. Rinse them clean and let them dry. Then put them back in. They slide right back in the same way. See, there's little 1/4 inch circle thingies here. And you just pop them in. And this folds and pops in, and there you go. And it's all clean, ready to go. It will last you forever. So get your Stampin' Scrub. It will save the life of your stamps. They will stay nice and clean. You will like them. All right, so here's Mr. Turtle. Now, Stampin' Blends come in sets of 2. They used to come one of, but now they come in sets of 2, a light and a dark. And if you look on the side, this is dark granny apple green, and this is a light granny apple green. You can kind of tell they're not like, not like super colossal from the color, but if they're together, you can tell which is light and which is dark. Also, there's 2 ends. There's a thick end and a thin end. I tend to be a thick end user. I like blending with that. Light to dark is my preferred way to go. I am going to use Granny Apple Green, light and dark, and Mango Medley, light and dark, for my eyeballs. You can collect the blends as you go, so you don't have to do them all at once. They're amazing. They're an alcohol-based marker, a la kind of Copics, but not priced like Copics. If you look in the catalog on page 140 is where coloring starts. The blends start on 142. And if you turn the page, you will see that it tells you what everything comes in. So in the bright collection, these are the colors. So we don't have Coastal Cabana, Gorgeous Grape. Those are colors we don't have. Same thing, you can look and see what are you missing, okay? And then blends like to be stored on their side. So we have this really great organizer. You can put them in a case, but you just want to keep them laying down. So they go in these trays like this. All right, that's on page 142. It starts with what the colors are. And then the blends organizer is on 145. Okay. Whew, ready to color now. All right, so I'm going to start with light. That's just my preference. I like to go with light, dark, and back to light. And I let the stamp set tell me what I'm doing. The other way to go is dark to light. And let me show you a little bit on dark to light. So this is the thick end. So if I were going to go dark to light, I would come in and go over where the highlights are of the stamp, like so. You don't want to do too many because it blends better when it's wet. So then you take the light. Ooh, let's zoom you in. Then you take the light and you try and blend the two together. Now that's going dark to light. Let me show you what it looks like if you go light to dark. You're going to color in, and you don't have to worry about where you're going. You're just going to color. I'm going to use that for a shadow. And then I'm going to take the dark, and I'm going to come back in and highlight. And then I'm going to take my light and kind of blend it a little bit. Now, in my opinion, I think light to dark blends better. Can you see? I can't really see the line, whereas on this one, I can kind of see. Now, I'm being super critical. It is not the end of the world. I have to work a little harder, I think, to blend in the dark to light. So when you're getting started, if you go light to dark and then go back over it with the light again, I think you'll have better results and be happier with it. And you'll notice as they dry, those lines will disappear. Okay? Now, remember I said we were coloring on top of this? Because see what happens on the back? We'll hold it still. Stampin' Blends bleed through the back. All right, so let's keep working on our guy. We want to go light to dark. I got to fix this one, so we're going to add a little bit of light here and kind of bring that in. So now I need kind of a different color to really make my turtle kind of stand out, and I don't know how I'm going to like Old Olive. I feel like that might be too much. This is light Old Olive and dark Old Olive. And then this is also soft Seafoam. I'm going to try that. So these are my green options. There's also Mossy Meadow, but that's really dark. I'm going to go with the soft Seafoam and see how that looks, because I can always darken it. So I'm going to go with the light color, the wide end, and I'm going to use that as my highlight between the darker colors of his shell. Now that doesn't really show much at all. So let's see what that was. Light soft Seafoam. This is, let me make sure I have the right one, dark soft Seafoam. So let's see what that looks like. Nah, I don't really like that either. All right, so I'm gonna go. Let's come in here with this, and this is kind of what you do. If you aren't sure, you can always do it on the side. I don't like that either. I'm going to go with just our Granny Apple Greens. And I'm going to go with the light and the dark. Are you light? You are. So I'm going to do his shell in the light. So you notice if you were using watercolor pencils, you would just put more down. With the blends, it's not quite like that. So this is all Granny Apple Green light. And I'm going to come back in with the dark and give him some highlights. Well, lowlights, some dark. So let's grab our dark, and I'm going to let the stamp set tell me where I want those highlights to be. So where the stamp set darkens it, that's going to be me. All right, let's see how that works. And then go over it with the lighter one, and that kind of blends all of it together. Now, what if you're thinking, I think I kind of like this mango. Let's give him a little bit of that. So I'm going to color his head and his legs with some mango on top and see if that doesn't, and it does. See, that changes the shade just a little, but it doesn't really take away from the green. Because the turtle's not the same color as his shell, but... And now because I want him to match, I don't want his head to be crazy, I'm going to go with the light. And then bring in my light Granny Apple Green on top of it. And then I'm going to come back with my dark Granny Apple Green to darken where the stamp set wanted me to darken. Okay, and then my light Granny Apple to blend it back in. And then I'm going to grab a dark mango and do his eyes. Okay. Now I did not, on my sample, I did not use the mango. I used just straight, come on back, come on. Zoom, thank you. I used just straight Granny Apple Green on him. This guy, I blended the two colors to show you how you could do that. All right. Now what if I wanted to have this be sky back here? I could. I can take my pool party. This is my light and dark pool party. I'm going to start with the light. And color. But then I need to add a little contrast or it looks like I just colored it in. So I'm going to have to think about where's the shadow going to be. Where would this be darker? Well, it would be darker under the turtle. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to darken under here and under here. And at first you're thinking, that just looks like you messed it up. But when I come back in and I take little circles, it's going to kind of, well, blend it in. And this is using thick Whisper White, which lets it absorb the color a little bit better. Okay. Need a little more in here. then to finish it off, I'm going to take it off of this. Let me put my covers back on. You don't want to let these guys dry out. So I'm going to put my covers back on. And then I grabbed a few of the little gems, which I thought I had put aside to show you. Here are my little gems. Oh goodness. That's what happens when I move things around. Here they are. These guys. These are the Elegant Faceted Gems. I'm going to take the itty bitty ones. And I'm just, because he looks like he's kind of in trouble. And just give him 3 little gems. And then I'm going to grab a dimensional or 2. Notice what the back looks like. And then pop him on the front. And then we're good to go. Alrighty. So, practice your coloring. Don't let coloring seem daunting. It's really not. It's really relaxing and really fun. And the stamps are little. So you're not trying to color in a really big project. You're going to start little. I'll see you soon. Bye.